convince anybody. I can't convince people. We meet this all the time. I don't know how to convince anybody. I can't convince people. How do you handle the I can't convince people objection? Now, we might call these things objections, but some of them are really concerns, right? You can call them objections, you can call them concerns. They are concerns that people really and truly have, even though for some people, it does not exist. But these are concerns that you can address. I can't convince. And when somebody tells me I can't convince people, they are talking, they are bothered, they are worried, they are bothered on fear. They are afraid. So what do? How do you handle the I can't convince people objection? Again, Mr. Prospect, when you say you can't convince people, how do you mean? How do you mean? I can't convince people. I don't know how to talk to people. If you put me in front of 3 people now, I'll just pass out, blah, 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 blah. It's a prospect. If I understand what you're saying clearly, you are saying that even though you know that this business is capable of giving you the dream life that you truly desire, you feel you can't do this business because you can't convince. Am I correct? You say, yes, blah, they can't convince me. How do? You move to the next phase. It's a prospect. Do you want to do this business? Say, yes, I want to do the business, but I don't know, just I can't convince people. Do you really want to do this business, or is saying that you can't convince people a polite way of saying you're not interested? Because that way we're okay with it. No, I want to do it, but I can't convince people. How do you proceed? It's a prospect. I'm glad you had that excuse, because I had the same excuse and I understand how you feel. Now, even if you don't have the same excuse, you can say, I know people who had the same excuse and I understand how they felt, right? I also felt the same way. But I later found out that we are not in this business to convince people or to convince anyone, but to show people a life-changing opportunity. Some will take it, some will not take it, but the few that do take it make a lot, right? Mr. Prospect, if I could show you our 6 months plan to increase your cash flow by 300% by simply inspiring people into action, will you give it a try right away? Simply inspiring people into action. Will you give it a try right away? You do. You bring out the SMO checklist and you show him the SMO checklist and you make it very clear to him so that he sees that he is not the one doing most of the talking. He sees that we have ways of talking for you, right? And he's able to get started right away. And some of those people he'll be recruiting are people who can convince other people. When you're done, you show them, does this address your challenge reasonably? The guy says, yes. You know, because we're going to do it, we'll do it with you. Hold your hands all the way. He says, yes, it does. It's great. I've done my own part. You said if I can show you how to increase your cash flow by 200%, you're ready to get started right away, right? So what is the next step you will need to take towards getting started right away? You bring the interest form, you are filling it out, put his name, you put everything, you assume the close. I can't convince people. That is how you handle rejection. I can't, right? Next, I can't market the product. I cannot market the product. I'm very busy. Can't start carrying things on my head, going around trying to sell products all over the place. It's a prospect. When you can't market the product, how do you mean? I need to understand. How do you mean? I can't go and start selling things, blah, 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 blah. So you say, Mr. Prospect, what you are trying to tell me now is this, if I understand you clearly, that you have seen that this business has all it takes to give you the dream life, the good life that you are truly worthy of, but you cannot do the business because you cannot market the product, you cannot sell the product. Is that what you're actually saying? So yes, that's what I'm saying. Great. Mr. Prospect, do you want to do this business? Yes, I want to do the business, but I cannot convince people, blah, 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 blah. I understand you clearly. Do you really want to do the business? Or is your saying you cannot convince people a polite way of saying you're not interested? If you say, no, I want to do it, but just I cannot convince people, I cannot market the product, blah, blah, blah. What do you do? It's a prospect. Our business is about coaching and inspiring our team. Would you have any problem inspiring others if it were to directly benefit you financially? Would you have a problem inspiring people if it can benefit you financially? If I can show you a 6 months plan to 7 figures per month without selling anything, will you be willing to try right away? 7 figures per month, or to increase your cash flow by 300%. Will you be willing to give it a try? I can show you our 6 months plan, and the plan does not involve you selling anything, selling any product, right? Our business is not about trading. We're not here to sell products. What we're doing here is building a network of users of the company products, and the company compensates us as the number of users of their product increase in our organization. If I can show you how we do that over the next 6 months, and you build a 7-figure income every month without selling to anybody, will you be ready to give it a try? The guy says, yes, I'll be interested. What do you do? Bring out the SMO checklist and let him see that there is no place on the SMO checklist where you are told to sell. Let him see the activities we're going to do and then show him the 6 months cash flow plan. Based on that, you call him to get started, right? So you've seen all I've said. You've gathered all the information you need to gather. on how within the next 6 months you can be doing 7 figures without selling anything. So what is the next step towards getting you started right away? Bring the interest form, filling his name, putting the amount you want to start with, you're doing everything. You're assuming the close, right? That is how you handle I can't market. Another objection, very popular, I will join at the end of the month. Guys, the masterclass that is why it's called the masterclass. Some people are running away because it is past 9. It gets to 10 o'clock, right? The masterclass is not for newbies. It's for people who are ready to build their business, take their business to the next level. It's a very technical session. So if you are here, be here. If you're here, be here. Stop anticipating I will be finishing in the next 2 minutes or 3 minutes. No, we are finishing by 10 a.m. I will join at the end of the month. How do you handle the objection? I will join at the end of the month. Mr. Prospect, when you say you will join at the end of the month, how do you mean? Yes, now that's the time I will be ready to get started, blah, 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 blah. What do you do next? Mr. Prospect, if I understand what you're trying to say, what you're telling me right now is that even though you know that this business has all it takes to give you the good life from now on as we begin to run this system over the next 30 days, that you want to wait until the end of the month to engage in the business. Is that correct? I says yes. What do you do next, Mr. Prospect? Do you want to do this business? He says yes, I want to do. Do you really want to do this business, or is you're deciding to join at the end of the month, a polite way of saying you're not interested? He says, no, I want to do the business. It's just that I will be ready at the end of the month. How do you proceed? Of course, this one I typed it in. It takes just 15 minutes or less to get you signed up in this business. Why would you want to procrastinate to the end of the month when you should be picking your payments by then? Why would you want to wait? Why would you want to start making money by the end of the month when you can start making your money from now? Why do you want to procrastinate or move your eventual success to the end of the month when you can set it up today? Why would you want to do that, right? I'm sure the guy will now say, because I don't have the money, then you know that his money, the money objection. You want to go back and handle the money objection. But if he doesn't say that, you continue. Why exactly do you want to delay the start of your success in this business till the end of the month? Why would we have to delay? Let him speak, right? Let him speak. So whatever he's saying, the fact is he's not seeing urgency. You want to use the urgency script on him. You want to let him know. Use the urgency script. Make him want to start immediately. Most times, the reason why they want to get to the end of the month is because of the money, right? Or they say they want to clear their schedule. That means their hands are full, or whatever it is. So you see, usually I will join at the end of the month is not the objection. There are things that attend to it that's making them want to join at the end of the month. So you want to know exactly why they want to delay to the end of the month. When you know that, you know the main objection, and you can now handle the main. I'm not the outgoing type. Some will tell you, some of those who know this thing will tell you that they are sanguine, their temperament, their whatever the temperament is. You allocate temperament on yourself, right? That's crap. Anybody can change. Anybody can be who they want to be. Anybody can decide to change the day they want to change. You look at it, you know you're not the outgoing type. You decide I want to be the outgoing type, you can change. If you're the outgoing type, you want to be the in-staying type, you can change. You can decide what you want. You're a human being. Brian Tracy said, if you don't like where you are, change it. You're not a tree. Human beings are the only group of people that can decide to change where they want to stay and make it happen. Human beings stay in space. Human beings live underwater today. You can choose where you want to stay, all up to. So I'm not the outgoing type. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way too. But do you know what? I found out that I didn't need the entire world to make a success of. I don't need the entire world. You want to start the proper way, right? You want to start by saying, Mr. Prospect, when you say I'm not the outgoing type, how do you mean? How do you mean? He talks about it. He said what it means. Mr. Prospect, if I understand what you're saying clearly, what you're telling me is that even though you know that this business has all it takes to give you the dream life, you've decided not to do the business because you feel you are not the outgoing type. Am I correct? Says, yes, I'm not the outgoing type, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's fine. I understand how you feel, really. I felt the same way too. But do you know what I found? I found out that I didn't need the entire world to make a success of this business. I found out I only needed 2 people running the business to make the business a success. I realized that I have hundreds of people in my phone contacts. Even if I'm not the outgoing type, but I have hundreds of people in my phone contacts, right? Mr. Prospect, if I could show you our 6-month plan that requires leveraging on just 2 people to increasing your cash flow by 300% over the next 6 months to 12 months, would you give it a try and get started right away? I says, yes. What do? You show him. Tell him, okay, you know what? From the contacts you have on your phone, let's bring those numbers out. We write those numbers out. We show them, we put them through the SMO checklist. You show him the SMO checklist. He sees the activities in SMO checklist. We do it to them in 5 months, or in 5 weeks. 2 people will definitely sign up from them. And guess what? From 5 people will definitely sign up, brother, not 2. And from there, we work with them, and 5 more will sign up under each of them over the next couple of months. And then you show him the 6 months plan of how his income can graduate in 6 months. I told you I'll show you that at the end, right? And guess what? This guy is ready to get started, because now he knows that he doesn't need to be out there hanging around people to make a success. Now, the next one, I want to think about it. Very common too. I want to think about it. This has 2 versions I'm going to give to you, right? How you handle the I want to think about it challenge. I'm going to give you objection. I'm going to give you 2 versions, right? Now, this is one of the extremely common network marketing objections you will face, and it can occur after you've rendered your best presentation. You can handle this objection by asking if they still have questions about cloudy issues that they need trashing. Because if someone tells you how they want to think about it, you might be having some things that you need to clear. So ask them, do you have some cloudy issues? Encourage them to ask questions. Perhaps your potential business colleagues need more information to help him figure out if this is the right opportunity for them, right? So you need to help him, probe him, so you can give him more information. This is how you become a consultant when a prospect says, I want to think about it. You respond in the nicest possible way. When somebody says, I want to think about it, respond in the nicest possible way, Mr. Prospect. When someone tells me they want to think about it, it means one of 2 things. They're not interested, number 1. Number 2, they're interested, but not sure. Which one is it? Mr. Prospect, from our collective experience, we've observed that when people say that they're not interested, they want to think about it, it means one of 2 things. It means they are not interested, or they're interested. Which one is it for you? If they're not interested, you simply pick up a day to call them 6 months later and write that in your diary. They're most likely, but the thing is that if they say they're not interested, you don't start pushing them hard. You say, that's fine, that's all right. I respect your decision, I respect your opinion, right? Let's keep in touch, let's keep talking. You put down their name for a 6 months appointment. They most likely will tell you they're interested, but not sure. When they tell you they're interested, but not sure, you proceed as follows. As a prospect, kindly permit me to tap from our collective experience in this business. When someone tells me I am interested, but not sure, they are not sure for one of 3 reasons. I need you to understand these things and to use them. They are not sure for one of 3 reasons. 1, the business is not a fit for them. 2, the functionality of the business is not there. And 3, the problem is finance. These are the 3 reasons for which people say they're interested but not sure. Now, you're not asking him which one is it for you. If you proceed as follows, Mr. Prospect, let's take a look at the first one, right? Let's take a look at the first one. We have lots of successful people like doctors, lawyers, military officers, successful people running this business for the passive income it provides them and their families, the passive income. That means they are able to make money when they are sleeping, when they're on vacation, when they're not working. Make money that comes to them when they're not actively working. Does this business possess what it takes to be a fit for you? Does it meet your cash flow expectation? Being able to make money from the efforts of other people. Does it meet your expectation? You keep quiet, right? You need to explain that, because when you talk about this, people need to understand clearly what it means to be a fit for them, right? Do you understand what it means to be a fit for them? So you want to hammer on the fact that it provides passive income for them and their families even when they are not there. Does it possess what it takes to be a fit for you? Does it meet your expectation? Right? If they say no, it doesn't meet your expectation, blah, 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 you might want to now go back and explain to them properly what the business is all about. Ask them, what is it about the business that does not meet your expectation? What are the challenges you see in it? Let them tell you, because it means something was not clear. But if they tell you it does, he may most probably say it does, in which case you proceed as follows. Mr. Prospect, I am happy this business is a fit for you. As for the second part, we can go on and on to tell you about the lives that have been changed in this industry. The internet is filled with success stories about network marketing industry. As of today, the network marketing industry is a whopping $200 billion industry. Do you see this industry as a viable machinery with the functionalities to help you make extra cash flow every month? You want to read this, understand it clearly. Now you are selling the industry, right? You want to include the fact that people like Donald Trump, what's his name? This one, the greatest investor the world has ever seen. What's the guy's name again? So you want to get big names in the world who are into this, right? And sell the industry, sell the La Buena Vida, sell the success stories. It's there in the internet. Everybody's talking about it. Do you see this industry as a viable business machinery with the functionalities to help you make extra cash flow every month? The guy says, yes, it does. Most likely, you proceed as follows. Mr. Prospect, if it is not fit, if it's not fit that is the problem, if it is not the functionality that is the problem, then the problem is a prospect finance. So what that tells me is that the reason why you want to think about it is because you don't have the function, the finance right away to get started in this business. So that tells you that what you need to handle is the finance, is the money objection. Mr. Prospect, do you want to do this business? He says, yes, I want to do the business. Proceed. Mr. Prospect, do you really want to do this business, or is your decision to think about it a polite way of saying you're not interested? Hey, I want to do the business, but just I needed to think about it, blah, 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 blah. If he says yes, you proceed. This is where you use the urgency script to increase the urgency of the prospect making a joining decision on the spot. You can also show him how he can leverage by distributing the sign-up cost across many people, because right now you're handling the money objection. So you use the urgency script. You think about it from your child, I collapsed, you got me to the hospital, blah, 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 and all those stuff, right? And you can also show him how you can leverage by distributing the sign-up cost. Get 10,000 from 5 people, 25,000 from 2 people, how you can use apps and get money to sign up, how you can, whatever you need to tell him to do, and arrive at something with him before he goes. Arrive at something with him. You are making him take a stand. Don't just tell him you can take an app, blah, 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 and then you can get money from an app and then you stop. No. What app is he going to get the money from? You want to know 3 apps at least. What I might recommend some apps later on. I'm asking people who use it a lot, right? You might want to know 3 to 5 apps that won't embarrass, that don't embarrass people, that will be able to allow you hold that money for up to 3 months or thereabout, right? And you might have those apps and then you can recommend to them. You can try this app, try this app, try this app, you know, and see what you can do with that. Your job is to help them make a decision, help them solve their problem. That's why you're the consultant, not leaving it vague, getting them to a point where you know, okay, what I need to do is this to get this result. I need to go to these 3 apps so that I can get this money. I can borrow 10,000 from 5 people and I can get the money, and you arrive at the deadline for them, with them, right? To get started. So this is what you're going to do. So you're going to do this. If you can able to get this money together and get started in the next 3 days, I can recommend you for a mastermind. That's version 1. I want to think about it. What is version 2? I want to think about it. How do you handle this objection? I want to think about it. So I'm giving you 2 options you can use. I want to think about it. Remember, you're a consultant. So reply in the nicest possible way when someone says, I want to think about it. Mr. Prospect, it makes a lot of sense to say you want to think about it. How long will you typically need to think about this challenge? How long will you need to think about this challenge? Let me give you a time. Now, no pressure, nothing. Whatever figure he gives you, double it. If he gives you a week, double it to 2 weeks. If he gives you a month, double it to 2 months, right? So whatever figure he gives you, just double it. No pressure, right? Just double it. And then you say the following, Mr. Prospect, you said you needed a week to think about it. I think you must think about it because it's that important. I think you have to think about it because it is that important. Make it known. Make it known. This is what we are going to do. I told you to write that phrase. This is what we're going to do. I will give you 2 weeks so we can be sure you cross the T's and dot the I's. Don't feel pressure. I'm going to give you so you can just think about it very well, dot the T's and cross the I's. No matter how long it takes you to think about it, you must arrive at the answers to these 3 questions to make a decision. Make him understand that, Mr. Prospect. Just remember that no matter how long it takes you to think about it, you must arrive at the answer to these 3 questions to make a decision. Question number 1, do I like this business? Question number 2, can I afford to start up this business? Question number 3, should I go ahead to start this business right away? Right? So you see, Mr. Prospect, you can take as long or as short as you like, but be sure to arrive at the answers to these 3 questions because these are the process that you have to go through when you think about it, if you think about it. So you pause. Pause for about 5 seconds. If the person wants to talk, let him talk. But at any time, pause for about 5 seconds before you talk. Let there be a 5 seconds break before you say whatever you want to say. So whatever the person wants to say, let him say. But you pause for 5 seconds before you say the following. By the way, Mr. Prospect, Can I ask you a couple of questions? I say yes. Do you like this business? Do you like it? Do you like the business? You're asking the question. That's you're asking the question now, the number one question, right? Do you like the business? If they like the business, you move to the next step. If they don't like it, you find out what they don't like about it and handle that challenge. So if they like it, you proceed as follows. Mr. Prospect, you alone being the sole judge, no pressure. Can you afford to start this business right away? Can you afford to start this business? Not right away. Can you afford to start this business? You alone being the sole judge. You know your bank account, you know your alert, you know everything. Can you afford to start this business? You ask the question, you let him speak, right? Next, if they say no, it means their problem is finance. So you handle the money objection. Are you seeing that a lot of problems are interlooped? So when you are handling a particular objection, you need to be open to understand that probably that is not the main problem they have. And then you continue. If they say yes, it means they have the money to sign up. So you automatically move into assumptive sale, into assumptive close. You don't ask them if they can start right now. You simply ask them which of the packages they would like to pay for right away, right? So when they tell you have the money, what do? You bring out the interest form. You say, what name can I write? What's the spelling of your name? You put down the corresponding of their name. Which of those packages are you ready to pay for right away, right? As you are asking them the package they would like to pay for, you are writing out the account number for them. Write the account number for them so that they can do their transfer and filling out the interest form. You are assuming they are starting right away. That's assumptive sale. Because they've said they like the business. They've said they have the money to start the business, right? So you're not asking them if they're going to do it now, although you told them that that's the question they need to answer for them in their own heads. By saying they can do it now, they've answered in their own heads. You are giving them, you are writing the information for them, and you are getting them started right away. If any other objection comes up, handle it the appropriate way. That is a second way you can handle the I want to think about it objection, right? Next, how much money are you making? How much money are you making? This is an objection that usually comes up, and for people who have not made money in the business, this can be a very terrible objection for them, right? But for people who are making money in the business, it's not a big deal, right? If you tell them how much you're making, it's not a big deal. But then you don't want people to join because you're telling them how much you're making. You want them to join because of what they are capable of making, right? So how do you handle that? Now you still have to go through all the processes, right? Mr. Prospect, when you say how much do I make, how do you mean? Say, I want to know the figure you're making and blah, 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 blah. What do you do next? Mr. Prospect, what you are trying, if I understand what you are saying that even though you know that this business has all it takes to give you the dream life, the good life that you're truly interested in having and you truly deserve, the reason you cannot start this business or the reason you are reluctant to start the business is because you want to know how much I am making as a person. Am I correct? I say, not that, it's just a job. I want to know whether it's a viable business, how much you're making, blah, 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 blah. How do you proceed? You see, Mr. Prospect, it's not about how much I am making. It's about how much money you are capable of earning. This is the best thing in this line of work. You determine your pay. Simple. If I could show you a 6 months plan to increase your cash flow by 300%, will you be willing to give it a try right away? Will you be willing to give it a try right away? Say, but I need to know how much you're making, blah, 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 blah. You need to make him understand. Mr. Prospect, you see, the fact is this. How much I make right now, if I tell you how much I make right now, it is not going to be a factor to determining whether you can be successful in this business or not. It's not going to be a factor. A factor that will determine how much you can make in the business is more of the work ethic you're going to bring to it. I can be making 10,000 naira. I can be making 1 million naira. All that does not matter because you are looking at how much I make, and you want to use that to extrapolate your own success in this business, which does not make sense in any way, right? You can come in and make way more than I do. You can come in and make way less than I do. It's all about your work ethic, right? So it's not about how much money I'm making, but it's about what you're capable of making, what you're capable of earning. And the best part is that it determines your line up. You determine how much you earn, you determine your pay. So if I could show you our 6 months plan to increasing your cash flow by 300%, will you be ready to get started right away? If he says, no, I'm not going to start the business unless you show me how much you're earning, blah, 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 blah. The person, do you want to do this business? He says, yes, I want to do the business. Do you really want to do the business, or is you're deciding not to do the business? I mean, you're deciding, is your insisting I must tell you how much I am making before you start the business a polite way of saying you're not in? You know, I want to know how much you're making, blah, 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 blah. It's a problem. Can I just make it very, very clear to you? No matter how much I'm pressured, I won't tell you how much, right? Because it's not about me, it's all about you. If you don't see yourself as being worthy, as being capable of using this very simple system I'm building this business successfully over the next 6 months, then how much I make is irrelevant because it is you selling yourself short, right? So unfortunately, I won't be sharing with you exactly how much I make. It's all about how much you are ready to, right? So it's all about you. So what you want to do is to, if he's insisting, is to put the ball back in his court and let him know that, do you consider yourself incapable of making a success of this business over the next 6 months by simply following this, right? So you're telling him how much you're making is not going to help him sign up in any way, especially for new people. Because the moment they see that you've just started, you've not made any money, they're going to draw your conclusion. Let me say something. It is better to say a little than to say so much, right? When you say a little, people are left to go figure things out for themselves. When you say a lot, guess what? You have told them so much and they will prejudge and they would not join, right? Next objection. I don't want to bug my family and friends. There are people, they don't want to disturb anybody. They don't want to disturb anybody, but they want to make money, right? It's a prospect. When you say you don't want to bug your family and friends, how do you mean? How do you mean? I don't like disturbing people. I like being on my own. I don't like pressuring people. It's a prospect. If I understand what you're trying to say, is that even though you've realized that you've gathered enough information that tells you that this business possesses all it takes to give you the dream life that you so truly desire for yourself and for your family, you don't want to do this business because you don't want to bug your family and friends. Am I correct? The guy says, yes, I don't want to bug my family and friends. That's all right, Mr. If I could show you a way to help them live better lives, would you like to hear a little bit more? Because I see you're so much interested in your family and friends. If I could show you a way to help your family and friends to live a better life, would you like to hear a little bit more? Yes, is yes. If I could show you a way my senior colleagues built a very massive business without bugging family and friends, would you get started immediately if it makes sense to you? Another way you can ask the question. If I could show you a way, especially for those who are new in the business, my senior colleagues built a very massive business without bugging family and friends, would you be ready to get started, right? If it makes sense to you, that's the question. Yes. So what do? You want to show him, right, how he can make a name list and we can call them on his behalf. If he doesn't want to do that, you want to show him how he can share questionnaires and we can use the questionnaires to show people the business, right? And those people are not his family, they're not his friends, they're people he does not know. You want to show him that. You want to show him how he can run Facebook adverts, Instagram adverts, and have people he does not know show up and sign up into his business. You want to show him that. Once you have shown him that, what do you do next? Mr. Prospect, let me even go ahead and show you our 6 months plan to complete financial freedom. Guess what you do? Show him the SMO checklist, you show him our 6 months plan, and you ask him, why don't you get started right away? Bring the paper, this interest form, you start filling it up, write his name, give him the account number. So make your transfer to this account right away so we can plug you in. I recommend you for the mastermind slot. Let's get you started right away. How will you want to make your payment? Do you want to make a payment using POS? Do you want to make a payment using a transfer? Do you want to make a payment using Quick Teller? How will you want to make your payment? Show him, right? Next, I tried it and it didn't work. Another objection. I'm giving you the most common objections you find. I tried it and it didn't work. How do you handle that objection, Mr. Prospect? When you say I tried it and it didn't work, how do you mean? Please, the people who are supposed to go for the induction, the Kingsman induction, please proceed to join the Kingsman induction. You can leave now and join the induction. That's those who are being inducted today into the Active Partners Induction Program, right? You can leave now and join. For the rest of us, focus. I tried it and it didn't work. How do you handle the objection? I tried it and it didn't work. Mr. Prospect, when you say you tried it and it didn't work, how do you mean? I tried a business, I tried something like this before, blah, 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 it didn't work. You proceed, Mr. Prospect. What you're trying to tell me is that even though you know that this business can give you what you want, this system we present to you can give you the dream life, right? The reason you don't want to do the business is because you have tried something like this in the past and am I correct? Yes. What do you do next? Mr. Prospect, tell me your story. Tell me about it. Make sure you get details on how they ran the business and then show them how they weren't set up with the right skills or expectations. Network marketing works if you work network marketing. Network marketing does not work itself, it works if you work it. So let them tell you their story. And then after telling their story, you want to make them understand that the reason it did not work was simply because they were not properly set up. They didn't have the skills, they didn't have the system, they didn't have the tools to make it work. So what do you do next? Our team is renowned for your skill development, for our skill development strategies, right? Would you be willing to try it again with proper training from our leaders, right? Our team is renowned for our skill development strategies. Would you be willing to try it again with proper training from our leaders? You want to say that? Would you be willing to give it in again with proper training? Because now you have made him know that the reason he didn't succeed was because he lacked the training, he lacked the skills. So will you be willing to do it again, right? He says, okay, no problem, or whatever he says. If I can show you a 6-month plan that will give you the skill set you need, the strategy and the system to create a success from this business, will you be ready to get started right away? The guy says yes. What do? You bring out SMO checklist and let him see the trainings involved in there. Specify on the trainings, the skill development he's going to get, right? Specify on the tools. Show him how we're going to do this with him over the period of time, and then show him the 6 months expected cash flow. And guess what? This guy is going to join. I already have a good job. Another objection that you might face. Mr. Prosper, when you say you already have a good job, how do you mean? I have a good job, he's paying me well, blah, 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 blah. What do you do next, Mr. Prosper? If I understand what you're saying exactly, what you are telling me is that even though you know that this business has all it takes to give you the dream life, give you that extra cash flow that you can add to whatever you're getting from your good job and begin to access better lifestyle for yourself, you will not join this business because you believe you already have a good job. Am I correct? I say, you might not put it like that, but just that I have a good job, blah, 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 blah. What do you do next, Mr. Prosper? That is good to know. Would you really truly say you and everyone in your family fared well during the lockdown? Would you really say that you and everybody in your family fared well during the COVID-19 lockdown? The guy will tell you no, blah, 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 blah. The reason we're doing this is because we want him to understand the proper place of a job, right? You will agree with me that it is a wise decision. You will agree with me. You see, we're using that phrase again. You will agree with me. It is a wise decision to set up an alternative cash flow source that does not compete with your primary income source, because that would have helped you during the lockdown. Would you like to hear why professionals like doctors, lawyers, etc. leverage on network marketing part-time and create cash flow for years to come? Would you like to hear more why that? They'll say, yes, he wants to do that. Now, doing that, you now want to make him understand the part of leverage income, the part of earning, what happens when you earn money from other people, right? You want to explain the cash flow quadrant, the ESB and I. You want to explain the cash flow quadrant. So he sees the position of the job where he exists, right? Even if it's not with you, you can schedule a WhatsApp call with him. Get a piece, you do a WhatsApp video call and get a paper and draw the cash flow quadrant and explain it to him. Let him see the position of a job and let him see what he benefits by running his business part-time and how he can make money for years to come. And then you can also move in and do the normal, if I can show you a 6 months plan, blah, 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 we need to, will you be ready to get started? And guess what? He's going to get started, right? Next question. Only people at the top make the money. Only people at the top make the money. We get this objection all the time, right? This objection comes because people really don't know what network marketing is all about. So they say only people at the top make the money, right? So how do you handle that objection? Network marketing pays you what you are worth, right? And they can even pay you more than your upline. It pays you your value, it pays you your worth. If I could show you how everyone has an equal chance to build their organization to the very top, would you like to hear a little bit more about it? He says, yes. Show him the comp plan. Show him the comp plan. Everybody has the opportunity to build their business to whatever level they want to build it. It's not about the upline. It's not about who joined you first. It's about the network of producers you create in your organization. You also want to make him understand how the network marketing structure works, how people sign up and you are compensated when people sign up. You want to make him understand that network marketing pays you from the proceeds of the profit of the company, from the profit of the company. When somebody buys product from the company by joining the company makes a profit. They share the profit into two, 60%, 40%. The company keeps 40% for themselves and shares 60% using a compensation plan down the line of people who contributed in getting you into the business. So you're only being compensated, right? So the more people you are bringing into your organization, the more money you are making. So it doesn't matter when you join the business. What matters is how many people have been connected in your organization, and our team will work with you and help you connect people in your organization, help you as you connect people in your, right? So you can do that when you handle the objection, that objection. Then the next one you might want to handle is there is too much competition out there. The market is saturated, right? You make this objection too. So there are over 200 potential, because you do the normal stuff I mentioned initially, right? When you say there's too much competition out there, how do you mean? It explains to you. So you know that this business can create cash flow for you, but the reason you don't want to start this business is because you believe there's too much competition out there. Am I correct? The guy says yes. So good. Guess what? There are over 200 million potential partners in Nigeria, and 99% of them are not doing the business. You are not doing the. So from this conversation right now, it is obvious that the market is not saturated. There is almost no competition out there, as network marketing companies specialize in unique products branded for them alone, right? If I show you how competition means great opportunity and how this company is unique, would you like to get started with the business right away? Right away. You make it know. In the whole of Africa and Asia, the number of active network marketers in all companies is about 3.5 million. Statistics proven. Direct Sales Association online, it is there. 3.5 million people in Africa and the Middle East, Africa and the Middle East. If you take 3.5 million people, the whole of them in Africa and the Middle East, and you put them into Nigeria, it's only going to be 3.5 people out of the over 200 million people in Nigeria. The market is not such. You just need to open up your mind to get to do the business and learn the skills. And you too will become a top earner, right? Does that address your objection? Next, I don't like to sell. I don't like to sell. That's fine. When you meet this objection, you want to start by telling people the same thing I've already said, right? When you say you don't like to sell, how do you mean? He explains to you, right? So, Mr. Prospect, even though you know that this business can give you the good life, the reason you don't want to join this business is because you feel you don't like to sell. The guy says yes. How do you proceed? Selling is something we do all the time already, all the time. You might ask him, well, you want to still ask him, Mr. Prospect, do you want to do this business? Yes, I want to do, but I don't like to sell. Mr. Prospect, do you really want to do this business? Or if you're saying you don't like to sell, a polite way of saying you're not interested. Say, no, I really want to do the business, but you know what? I don't like to sell. Selling is something you do all the time already. Show the prospect that we are selling all the time, right? We convince or sell the people we know every day in what we eat, how we spend our time, how we spend our money. Everything we're doing is selling. You sell to your children, you sell to your family, you sell. Your everyday life is selling, even though you're not collecting money. Right? Show that there are two ways to sell. There is the annoying stereotypical selling that is pushy and annoying, and there's a friendly and warm approach to selling. All right? There's the annoying stereotypical selling that is pushy and annoying, and there's the friendly and warm approach to selling. Right? All financially successful people in the world have learned to sell at one point in their career. Right? If you don't sell, then you cannot complain about your current financial situation or your job. You will have to just accept the status quo. But if you want to make money and have a better life, you must learn how to sell. Your prospects always dictate their experience, right? So if you are hard selling and you're the hard selling and the pushy one, then they will think they will have to do the same. So the key to successful prospecting is asking questions that leads your prospects to join. Basically, what you want to do is to be asking them questions, and those questions are the things that will lead them to join, right? So you need to understand that selling is part of business. Selling is part of life. Like I said at the beginning, nothing happens until a sale is made. So if somebody tells you I don't like to sell, you make them understand that. Then you have to calm down and you let them know our business is not about buying us. Even though I've shown you all these things about selling, our business is not about buying us. We're here to buy the product, use the product, and connect people who will come buy. That's all we do. We buy, use, and connect. We don't buy, use, and sell. There's a buying and selling arrangement in every business. Yes, we know that. But in our business, the company, AIM Global, does the selling while we do the buying. So our job is to raise a network of buyers who buy into the product by signing up, buy into the company by signing up, and who buy the product and use for themselves monthly. Use the C247, use the coffee, use the colleges, use whatever the product we have. And that is how we do it. We don't go out on the streets selling them. I'm not the network marketing type. Another objection you're going to face. I am not the network marketing, right? So when you see another network marketing type, how do you mean? Exactly. When you say that, when you ask them that, how do you mean? Let them say it. When they're done, you want to rephrase it. So you've seen this system, and you know that this system has what it takes to give you the life that you are worthy of. But you don't want to sign up because you feel you are not the network marketing type. Am I correct? The guy says yes. What do? Can you tell me a network marketing story? Let them tell you that story. They know something about network marketing. Most times they have not even done anything about network marketing. But even if they say they have, tell me your story, right? Would you truly say, this is the next thing, would you truly say you gave this business enough time and effort to create something? Would you truly say you gave this business enough time and effort to create success? Let them say. So they say, yes, I did. You continue. If the richest man in this country gave his business the kind of attention you gave your MLM business, your network marketing business, would you say he would be successful? Would you say he would be successful? This is you being a consultant, because now they are blaming the industry instead of blaming themselves. They will tell you the truth. Would you say it is wise to say you don't like something if you have not given it attention? Would you say it's wise to say you don't like something if you've never tried doing it? You don't know how it is. Would you say it's wise to say that? If I could show you how to increase your cash flow by 300% over the next 6 months, will you be ready to give it a shot under mentorship? Will you be ready to try network marketing again under mentorship? You see, the thing is, a lot of people come in and they blame network marketing. You want to ask and see what they did. You want to see what they did. Would you truly say you did network marketing? Would you say you gave it attention? How many hours a day did you give to your business? Let them tell you. For how many days did you run the business before giving up? Let them tell you. Would you truly say if you spend so and so hours with such a number of days or weeks and gave up, you are supposed to be successful in that venture? So when people come up with I don't like network marketing objection, what you want to do is to know what they did, know their level of activity, their attitude toward the business, and let them know that under mentorship, ask them if under mentorship, they are ready to work under mentorship to create the result that they require. Someone says, I don't know how to run this business. Excuse and objection. If I could show you how to run this business under guidance of our team, would you like to know a little bit more? Guy says, yes. You proceed. We have an invitation-only system for beginners where we'll help you expose the business to your friends. You can be earning as much as 6 figures while you are still leveraging on the team. Our system guides you to your dream, right? What that means is that even though you don't know how to run the business, we are going to do the business with you as you learn the business. So if I can show you a 6-month plan to $1 million monthly income, would you be ready to get started right away? If I can show you a 6-month plan to increasing your cash flow by 300% over the next 6 months, would you be ready to get started right away? If it says yes, what do you do? SMO checklist and a 6-month cash flow plan. I don't like people. Someone says I don't like people, what do you do? When you say I don't like people, how do you mean? How do you mean when you say I don't like people? He explains to you. So Mr. John, Mr. Prospect, even though you know this business has all it takes to give you a dream life, the reason you will not do this business is because you don't like people. Am I correct? The guy says yes. How do you proceed? I really understand how you feel. Many people in this industry felt the same way, but do you know what they found out? They realized that by simply inconveniencing themselves a little to tolerate other people, their monthly cash flow increased significantly. You know why? Because the money that will make you rich is not in your pockets, it's in the pockets of other people. So by the time you learn to inconvenience yourself a little, you can increase your cash flow significantly. So if I could show you a way of increasing your cash flow by 300% by simply inspiring few people over the next 6 months using our system, would you be ready to get started to give it a try right away? Very simple. I'm taking time to explain all these things so you can pick them one by one and study them, learn how it works, and then use them as you grow your business. And then you learn to apply the invitation code. Giving you how to handle all the objections, but this time around, this is the invitation code. John, are there any more questions or objections you want addressed to enable you to get started right away? So you've handled these objections. So what you do next? He has told you don't have time, you don't have money, and you've handled all those stuff, right? What do you want to ask him next? John, are there any more questions or objections you want addressed to enable you to get started right away? Are there any more? The guy says, no, whatever he says. John, join us. If he says none, anything, I still have some, address them. If it doesn't, what do you do? John, join us in doing some amazing things here. Why don't you give it a try? Slide the form to him, bring out the form, start filling it, right? Why don't you give it a try right away? That is called the invitation code. You're inviting him to give it a try. You can also say, John, now that we have sorted out all the questions you needed answers to help you get started, what is the next step forward towards getting you started right away? I'm showing you languages, words that you can use. Why don't you give it a try? What is the way forward towards getting you started right away? If they try to dance around the question or they try to outsmart you, let them speak. Don't doubt them. Don't belittle them. Don't argue with them. When they're done talking, you simply say, John, Anita, Tunde, Mr. Prospect, whatever the person's name is. The question I asked is quite simple enough and would enable me to determine your suitability for this. Kindly don't circumvent the question, then ask your question When you ask somebody a question and they begin to dance around, you call them back to order. Let them speak. When they're done, Mr. Prospect, the question I asked was quite simple enough and will enable me determine your suitability for this business. Kindly don't circumvent the question. Then you ask the question. Always follow up with a tool, even if they say they will sign up the next day. Follow up with a tool. Try to protect them from Guptas. Who are the people we call Guptas? Gullible people talking rubbish. That people call Guptas. Gullible people talking rubbish. They'll meet them. Dream killers, naysayers. They'll meet them, right? So follow up with a tool. You can send them the video after they've seen the presentation. Send them the video. Let them watch our video again, right? They've seen the presentation, you've seen the presentation, and you want to close them down, still send them the link to our presentation video so that they can watch it again at their own time. Even though you've gone through the presentation, I'm sending you a short video of 31 minutes, right? Look at the video. It's going to help you get more information you need. They've not signed up, but you want them to have that. And when they meet Gupta, people talking rubbish, what do? They can send the Gupta the video. Let the Gupta watch the video. Let the people see what you have seen, right? The sign up is not complete until they buy their product, until they pay. That's when it is complete. So the process must continue. If they don't want to do the business, ask for 2 referrals from them. Who do you know, right? Who do you know? Or do you know anyone that would like to make an extra 200,000 naira monthly? Who do you know that would like to make an extra 20,000 naira monthly, right? Who do you know that would love to make an extra 200,000 naira monthly? You ask them, right? And you can also ask them to try the products. Ask them to try the product, try the 64/7, see what's going to happen to you by tomorrow. So I'll be rounding up by giving you 5 powerful words that you use in your follow-up. And I've been using those 5 words all along, right? Number 1, what is the way forward? 5 words. What is the way forward towards getting you started? What are the next steps towards getting you started? These are the words you can use to get people to bring their money, right? What is the way forward towards getting you started? So you've handled all the objections, you've handled everything, you have filled the paper. What is the way forward towards getting you started right away? What are the next steps you will be taking towards getting started right away? We've handled your objections, we've seen it, we've handled the questions, you don't have any questions left. Mr. Prospect, what are the next steps you need to take towards getting started now? It's for me to pay now. You bring out your POS, you collect this payment, right? And then what is the 6 months plan? I've been talking about the 6 months plan, 6 months plan, 6 months plan. Number 1, SMO checklist. This is the SMO checklist. Everybody screenshot this. Screenshot your SMO checklist. This is your SMO checklist. Anybody you bring into this business must flow through this. Flow through this. You must have this. Everybody you bring in must go through all this, and then we'll sign and put the date they did the activity. Make sure you finish this within 5 weeks, and you will see your business grow, right? So you will explain these things to people one by one. You know this. It's in the IPO. Go and watch it. And then this is a 6 months plan you are showing them, right? If you follow the SMO checklist, 5 people will join your business in month 1. 5 of them join, you make 14,000 naira, right? We're going to do the same thing with the 5 of them. In month 2, 5 will join under each of those 5, you make 50,000 naira. By month 3, 5 will join under each of the 5. You are now 25 people there, you make 350,000 naira. By month 4, 5 join each of the 25. Now you are doing 125 people, you make 1.7 million naira. In month 5, 5 join each of the 125 people, you have 625 people each, you're making 4.3 million naira. And by month 6, if 5 people join each of the 625 people following the system, you have 3,125 people in your team, you're making 21 million naira. I want to show them this. 6 months income projection. If we add up everything, you will have made 28 million naira in 6 months. Even if you're successful at 50%, that is 14 million naira. At 20% success rate, that's 5.6 million naira, right? Does it make sense? Does it make sense that you start this business with 49,990? We work with you over the next 6 months and you're doing 5.6 million naira monthly. Does it make sense cumulatively? Yes, it does. Why don't you get started right away? You show them the 6 months plan, right? So you see, anybody who joins, you also want to make them know the 90 days game plan. Let's do this over the next 90 days. The idea is to recruit 20 people in the first 30 days and then duplicate 20 people recruited over the next 60 days. We duplicate the 20 people we have recruited over the next 20 days. So that means that if I recruit 20 people in 30 days, each of those persons I recruited, I will work with them to recruit 20 people over the next 60 days. In 90 days, I can build a very formidable business, right? So I will give you a bonus slide. 3 powerful questions to ask your new sign-up. 3 powerful questions you ask your new sign-up when they join your business, right? Ask them these 3 powerful questions. If you ask these 3 powerful questions, after they have signed up, you can be sure to do something very fantastic. Number 1, would you like to make your money back in the next 4 weeks? Would you like to make your money back in the next 4 weeks? The person says yes, 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 yes. Number 2, would you religiously follow our system without excuses to make that happen? Will you religiously follow our system without excuses to make that happen? They will say yes, 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 yes. And final question, are you sure of what you are saying? They say yes. Powerful question. These questions will help you focus and streamline your prospects. And if you ask them this question after they've signed up, you have set them up for success, right? You have set them up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you handle the most common objections you meet in your network marketing business. If you study this objection, if you watch this video, study it over and over again, take the most common objections you find and study it, you can put together a most powerful and formidable business, right? Yes, this meeting took some time, about 2 hours, 30 minutes, but guess what? It is worth it, because if you learn this skill set and use it, you are going to give yourself the most powerful and exceptional business, right? Thank you so much, gentlemen and ladies, for being with us in this particular session of how to handle objections like a rock star. I look forward to seeing you at the top as together we begin to live the amazing life that we are truly